When I first moved to the US, or actually, when I first went to Boston to study for a month on my break, on my college break, actually, school break, you know, I realized that I needed to get out of Brazil because everything I knew, and I had lost all the money after my father's passing, I experienced, and my family experienced economic crisis firsthand. Like we went from being wealthy to having very little money, even though, for example, we had a few apartments, but corruption made everything completely chaotic in Brazil. And why is the inflation a tax on most people, on everything, especially the poor? Because even we, with property, we cannot survive because when we got the rent from a particular apartment, or when we rented an apartment, on the next month, the first time we received the rent, that money was worth like 30%, 50%, because we had huge, huge inflation. We have hyperinflation in the 90s. So we had one of the years was more than 1,000%. So I recall, even very young, going with my father. I lost my father when I was 15. And I remember even before that, going to the supermarket, and by the time you got to one aisle, you needed to get like a box of oil or things you could take it home, or flour, whatever, because by the time you went back to the same position in that aisle, they were already changing the price.